So Mueller released his indictment of Flynn, and it turns out he's recommending no charges. And in the indictment, it says that General Flynn cooperated, sat down for over 19 interviews. And it's hard to know what to make of this. So I've been talking to people, and they tell me this is what's occurring. Apparently, Mueller's trying to go after lower level people, get them on crimes. Mostly it's process crimes, like things like lying to the FBI, lying to him. Then threaten them with jail time over these small crimes, and then hope that in lieu of getting out of that jail time, they would then give information that could get bigger fish, predominantly Trump. Apparently, this is what he's doing, and I have to admit, I'm very confused by this because I thought Mueller was the head of the FBI, and he used to, at one point, he used to run the FBI and would use a tactic similar to them. Now we know, as we've heard from the Democratic media, that the FBI, to criticize them as un-American, they're absolutely brilliant. We have to listen to everything they say. We have to take their word for it, and they do their job. Not only is it absurd to assert they're biased or something, but they are excellent, just fantastic people at doing their job, the best of the best. And so we know when they're doing investigations, they're using the best tactics possible to be able to solve these crimes, because they're not interested in being politically partisan, right? They're interested in getting justice, getting to the bottom of these crimes, having serious investigations. So I'm puzzled by Mueller's direction in this. Perhaps it'll provide fruit, but I think the FBI would heavily disagree with his decision on how he's going about this. Because I saw the FBI just have a very compelling, fantastic investigation into Hillary Clinton, where they used all the latest tools and strategies to be able to get to the bottom of that. And what I learned from them was this, that first, when you think that there's someone at the top that may have committed a crime, Mueller's going after people below them, trying to get them on smaller crimes and getting them to flip. No, that's all wrong. What the FBI did was they went to these lower people they knew committed crimes, like, for example, Mills and Abedin, who we know lied to the FBI, much like Papadopoulos lied to the FBI. Well, what Mueller's team did, which makes no sense, is they charged Papadopoulos with lying to the FBI and then tried to get him to cooperate. But the FBI had it all right. What they did was they granted immunity to Mills and Abedin. They even offered to smash their devices and things like that to make sure that there's no possible punishment they could ever get in, even politically, which seemed to be a very shrewd move, right? You grant immunity to these people in the bottom. Surely then that will provide the results that we'll be able to get to the bottom of this. Then there were other things, like the FBI, they're wisely subpoenaing information, documents from Hillary and her team, and Hillary's team destroyed those documents after they were subpoenaed. And so the FBI did the only sensible thing. They refused to charge that crime for what it was. They just let it go. In fact, they granted immunity, again, to more people, the people that destroyed that evidence. A very shrewd move. This is how you get to the bottom of the crimes. So we just grant out immunity, and then we get to Hillary Clinton. And then we do things like we don't record our conversation with her. We know that the FBI agents said they thought that she was blatantly lying to them when she claimed that she thought the C on documents, she didn't know that stood for classified. She thought it was alphabetical order. FBI agents' text message that were released show that they thought that she was lying. It's ironic because the FBI agents thought that Flynn wasn't lying. That's what all of their text message showed. But Mueller knew better. Mueller knew that Flynn was lying, so he went and charged him with the lie. But when the FBI did think that Hillary was lying, they did the intelligent thing and didn't charge her for those crimes. And so then what we saw was they then allowed other people that were being investigated, like Mills and Abedin, who they'd already given immunity, to sit in on their interview with Hillary Clinton. They wisely, and this is very intelligent of the FBI, they kept using basically the same guy to do all these interviews. His name was Peter Strzok. He hated Trump, thought that he could smell Trump supporters in Walmart, wanted an insurance policy in case Trump won, talked about how Hillary should win like 1,000,000 votes, how she'd be a great leader. They wisely used him because you want to use a very biased person. That's how you get to the bottom of crimes, right? So they used this very biased person, and they had him interview Mills and Abedin and Flynn and Hillary, and of course they didn't record it. And she, basically said she didn't remember a bunch of stuff. And then another thing Mueller at the FBI did, and this was fantastic. This is very good if you're trying to get to the bottom of crimes. He basically wrote an exoneration letter for Hillary before they even interviewed her or many other witnesses, which is a brilliant move. It's very shrewd of the FBI. I can't figure out why Mueller wouldn't be doing that in the investigation into Russia. It just seems strange. So at the end of the day, what we saw with the FBI is that there was no crime, right? It turns out the FBI shrewdly, by giving everyone immunity, was able to not produce any crime, and therefore they didn't have to go through the tedious nature of actually prosecuting that crime. Many FBI agents knew, anyways. They said that they knew that the DOJ at the time, Lynch, was not going to prosecute anyone no matter what. So it was very intelligent of them. But I'm puzzled, seeing as how Mueller was at the FBI. Why wouldn't he? It seems we've learned that the proper way to do investigation, he should have gave Flynn and Papadopoulos and Manafort and anyone else, he should have gave them all immunity, right? Then he would have really, that's how the FBI does things. That's what their investigation was. So I'm just very confused. Maybe someone out there could help me. Hopefully when this is all done, we could ask Mueller, like, why would you make these crazy decisions of actually charging people with crimes and having them flip? Like, what did they say? Immunity deals were being handed out like candy by the FBI. That's how we do things. So I don't understand why Mueller deviated from that approach, seeing as how he was formerly at the FBI. Perhaps the Democrats can explain. I'm sure the Democrats are absolutely furious. I mean, they were very happy with the investigation into Hillary and how it went. And of course they seek justice. That's what they're after. And so that was the model. That was the model to follow, right? Give immunity to everyone, and then see if they voluntarily give up information on the person that you're seeking to charge, the big crime that you're seeking to charge. So, yeah, I guess we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting to. I'm sure the FBI, who's even in charge of it now? Who knows? I'm sure they're very critical of Mueller's approach. I'm sure James Comey will come out and he'll, write another book about how absurd Mueller's approach was, and how if Comey was in charge, he would have just gave out immunity to everyone, right? And that would have been how to get to the bottom of the investigation. That's how Comey runs investigations. So I'm sure Comey will be doing another tour. CNN, MSNBC, the New York Times, they'll be happy to have him come on and explain how terrible it is for Mueller to actually be charging people with crimes and trying to get them to flip. Like, it doesn't make sense, right? Like, you mean to tell me Mueller's saying Mueller's strategy is if we put pressure on people because we might charge them with these lower crimes, that might provide them incentive to flip on people that they're connected to that we want to charge with crimes? Like, no. Like, Mueller had it right. What you really do is you grant them immunity from any crime and then hope that they voluntarily will give up these people that they work for. That's how you run investigations. So, I mean, I don't know. I just think this whole Mueller thing's crazy. We'll see if it bears any fruit. But it seems to me, I can't wait for the FBI to come out and James Comey and all the Democrats come out and say that they find the way this investigation is being run to be ridiculous. We had the model with the Hillary investigation. We know that's how you properly run an investigation. Give everyone immunity. Don't charge anyone with anything. Have the same investigator conduct all the interviews. Don't have them record or even really write down word for word what was said in these interviews. Allow people that are also being investigated to sit in when other people are being interviewed. Allow people to destroy evidence, subpoenaed evidence, and not charge them with it. Personally destroy, the FBI, personally destroying evidence, devices from these people afterwards so that it couldn't get into the hands of the media. That's how you run an investigation. And we can't criticize the FBI. The Democrats have told us that would be absurd. Like, just watch the media, watch Chris Cuomo or Anderson Cooper or any of these other people. You can't criticize them. Now you're hurting law enforcement. You're hurting America. So, I'm really interested. I look forward to a day of news from I'm waking up. It's real early this morning, but I'm looking forward to turning on the television and just seeing these Democratic news agencies and politicians absolutely dumbfounded and baffled by Mueller's terrible strategy here. I'm sure they'll be furious that immunity wasn't handed out. So, all right. Well, thanks for the video. Sorry, I'm really confused here. But maybe someone could help me out. I'm sure all the people cheering that Flynn, how important this Flynn argument is, will be able to better instruct me how actually Mueller. It was good to deviate. It's good to have one set of policies for how to investigate Democrats versus to how to investigate people connected to Trump. Hopefully someone will be able to tell me why that would be a good strategy. So thanks everyone for listening. If you like and subscribe, and I'll be doing a live stream Friday at noon as always. So All right, have a good one.